That's all good. No reason to delay it. It's time to play. Game number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. A little reminder of what these fantastic folks are playing for. Not just for bragging rights, not just for pride, not even just for the right to call themselves a CTL champion. And not just to be featured on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Classic Tetris League either. Storm, you can also just type in 110 words per minute, and that works too. But we're also playing with prize money in mind. As the top players in Division 1 will walk away with a share of that Matrino prize fund you see, bottom center, standing right now at $517. Plenty of ways that you can contribute to that without even having to put in a single penny of your own money. We've got a channel point prediction started in the chat as well. I appreciate whoever did that. Early days here, Hydrant Dude at 143 on 32 lines. 29 lines for Andy at 121. Having to create a hole in the stack, but gonna get a Tetris there to go to 144. Wanted to try and find a rooftop burn for this hole, but not really working out. No, the skim will take care of it, though. Andy gonna get a Tetris. Gonna go up to 172. Hydrant Dude on 188 with the early lead. And Andy having to create a couple holes in the stack here. A little work to do to clean this up. That square left, though, for that double. Very sharp little bit of cleanup. Hydrant Dude, though, taking advantage and really starting to build up a lead. 280,000 to 202,000. Andy just about got things squared away here, but has allowed Hydrant Dude to take a good 3.5 Tetris lead. Approaching the halfway mark here in game number 1. Wow, the first time Somalian has ever not wanted mod, and it's because you can't vote with channel points. And he opening up the well with the triple and a single there to go to 220 on 70 lines. Bit of a struggle start here. Hydrant Dude at 371 has opened up a 150,000 point lead. Rooftop burn with the T. Bar dependency, center of the stack, though. And it's only going to get worse if a bar doesn't show up anytime soon. There we go. 373, 290. Andy trying to get back into this one, but has picked up a few lines lead. Hydrant picks it back up there to go to 419 on 83 lines. 84 lines, 290 for Andy. So able to whittle away some of that advantage that Hydrant Dude had built up. Still a long ways to go. A lot of game left to play, though. We're only at 83 lines, 87 lines. About a line difference and 130,000 point difference, and a little bit of stream delay on Andy's side, but that fixed itself in like no seconds flat. Probably Dog's fault for just going live or something. Trying to show him up or something. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna say, just to stir some controversy. Just to sow the seeds of dissent, as one does. You know, I could vote in this because I don't have mod yet. But I'm not going to. I am the impartial restreamer. Past the 110 mark in lines for both players. 561, 451. Andy's got this down to about 110k lead. But that is still 5 Tetrises here on level 18. Both players clean stacks as Hydrant fills in that bar dependency. Bit of a stream hiccup actually gave Andy a little bit of a line lead for a moment. Back to about a 2-line difference. 631 for Hydrant, 522 for Andy. So 109,000 point difference right now. Transition for Andy at 546. Hydrant is 2 lines away. Gets the bar, gets a score. 656 transition. Huge. But now needs to start working on cleaning the stack up because some unfortunate early pieces really kind of put the brakes on any scoring for a moment. Hydrant gonna get it lowered down, gonna get it cleaned up. 683, 623. Andy has gotten back into this, but is 7 lines out in front due to a slightly faster transition. 733 for Hydrant, 626 for Andy. As you see the lead kind of reforming the closer the line counts get to one another. Hydrant taking a score into level 21 at 760. 654 for Andy, who's just waiting patiently for a bar. And waiting a long time for it. Waiting a real long time for it. There it finally comes to go to 683 in a level 22. Hydrant's there at 817, ahead by 130,000 points. Kind of an awkward board, though. Hydrant warmed up, and now everyone should be terrified. There's a little dingy Tetris row 2 for Hydrant, 851, 772 for Andy, who's about 5 lines ahead. Lead's been whittled down a little bit, but not a lot. Both players still clean, no counts. The most viewed clip on my personal channel is still titled "Jounce What in the Kentucky Fried F." So Hydrant 915, Andy 840. Lead bouncing around anywhere from 80 to 100,000 points right now, as Hydrant has not been able to really get a groove going here in the last level or two. Now gonna finally try and get back to a easier scoring well. 955 for Hydrant, 910 for Andy, who's a few lines ahead and really starting to try and make a charge back into this game. Hydrant gonna take that Tetris, go to 991. On the verge of a max in level 26. Andy's not that far off. 943 on 207 lines. But the window slowly starting to clamp down. Oh, but that's not a great spot for that S piece. Hydrant with a hole in the center of the stack. Andy mostly clean, but that bar coming a little bit too late has to take some skins. And instead of being able to score with it, Hydrant now up to A64. Has really opened this lead back up and has finally got the stack clean as well. A64 in 27 up to A99 in 28. A30 for Andy into kill screen at A66 and work to do. And Andy built up for a Tetris here on 29. Waiting for the bar, and it comes, and he's going to get that 29 Tetris, going to level 38, B14. Hydrant is at B76 on 29. We're off and running hard. I look up, and both players are just fighting for their lives here on the 29. Andy set up for a triple here on... Oh, God, I've lost count. 31 now for level Andy at B66. C00 for Hydrant. Opening up a bit more of a lead. Andy set up for the Tetris. Into level 32, it's C10 has actually taken the lead, but Hydrant takes it back. We are absolutely neck and neck. Both players just continuing to score, continuing to fight. C26 for Andy. C19 for Hydrant, who's a couple lines back. It doesn't get that piece all the way over to the left. Needs a bar over. It doesn't get over. C23. Hydrant is done. C68 for Andy. Came all the way back. What in the actual heck are we witnessing? GG. Wow, was that a 35 Tetris to go to D33? And another one! D76! Now a center well Tetris go to E21! Let's go! Just let this happen. A lot of questions being asked in chat that I don't have answers for, but oh man, do I want it. Oh wow, E29! Oh, this stack's starting to struggle a little bit now here on level 39, but oh, gets it over into the F's! Criminy! There's an F on the screen! Oh, going for it! Oh, go ahead and takes the burn. Into 40. Into level 40. Now ready for another Tetris. Kind of throwing the stack away for it. No, the bar doesn't rotate! F46! F46! Oh, holy shnikes! Just rounds of applause. Bruh. It was not SPS. Get that F on the screen. Holy cats. An absolute round of applause for that. That's absolutely incredible. Glad I grabbed an extra bottle of water. Alright. I've got a hover 3 from Andy. I've got a ready from Hydrant. That's only game 1 of the set. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Thanks, Kingsman. Okay. So, I mean, ooh, nice little spin tuck to start. Hydrant, stop points. I don't know about anybody else, but I appreciated that show quite a bit. That's the kind of things you're going to get to see here in the highest reaches of the Classic Tetris League. These players know they have a lot to play for. Gonna keep shilling for that whole Matcherino thing. You've seen the link pop up a couple times in chat. The command that the bot has is for the previous season's Matcherino. So we'll need to get that rectified, but new link easily available by changing a single number. Early days here, game number 2, 91,000 for Hydrant. 91,000 for Andy. Dead even tie. Tetris is for both. We stay tied. No one will ever get 1.4. Yeah, well, yeah, because we just skipped it. 1.2 and 1.5. Anyway, thoroughly one Tetris lead here in game number 2. Both players stacking nice and clean. Good skim with a square there for a double for Andy into the Tetris to go to 186, trying to stay as efficient as possible. Both players knowing the other is capable of doing some absolutely disgusting things based on what we just saw in game 1, so No holds barred, I think, is a pretty good way to describe how this set could go from here. Was that actually, combined record? There's no way. There's no way. It was? Oh my god. Y'all had to listen to me trying to call it. 60 lines for Andy is at 283, 259 for Hydrant Dude. It's a little bit high, just waiting on a bar. Finally comes for the Tetris to go to 282. Yeah, we are neck and neck here in game number 2. 104,000 above previous. It's funny just laughing at not mod. Combined records with Mullins. I mean... I had to do a late adjustment of a bar. A bit of an awkward stack on the right-hand side as well. Finally getting a couple pieces for that double tuck situation, but now bar dependent in the center of the stack. And having... Ooh. Make some tough placements and a lot of unhelpful squares. Needs a bar now. Oh my goodness, gets it over for that super dirty Tetris. Still work to do, though. Oh, perfect timing in that bar. Able to almost get this fully open. It's open. It's ready for another very dirty Tetris. Go to 405. Goodness gracious. Rollers are broken. It's amazing. 429 for Hydrant Dude. 410 for Andy, who's about 4 lines back. So, yeah, neck and neck again. Players basically doing everything they can to avoid taking even single burns at this point. 456 for Andy, 476 for Hydrant Dude, who's 6 lines out in front, and finally off the top shelf for at least a few moments here, able to breathe and maybe do something about this. Couldn't do much about that Z piece, though. Late decisions. A couple of skims will get it mostly fixed up. Doesn't have a bar dependency in the center of the stack to deal with, though, and just 18 lines left till transition with a whole heap of not very helpful pieces. Triple bar dependent is Hydrant Dude. Gonna fill in one with an S. Six a bar, but one of the dependencies, and it leaves a bar dependency still. A lot of work to do with just 12 lines left for Hydrant to try and get this stack cleaned up. Andy is clean and into the lead now. $570 for Andy, $513 for Hydrant Dude. Oh, who's just really not getting helpful pieces here to try and get this lower down before transition. Because 2 lines left until transition for Hydrant Dude. Gonna transition way up top at $516. Work to do to get this opened up. Andy is 1 line away from transition at $617. Hydrant Dude is at $524. Gotta roll for your life to get out of this one. Double into transition, $619 for Andy. Hydrant Dude, oh, finally gets a piece over all the way to the left. The last piece almost didn't make it. Had to leap a bar over everything. Neither player clean right now. $647 for Andy, $536. Now, oh goodness, that was a very dirty Tetris for Hydrant. Go to $562. Cleaned up now. $589. Trying to make a charge back into this game. Andy's got the stack lowered down, but it's still not clean. Got to take a lot more burns in order to get this back into scoring condition, leaving Hydrant an opportunity to try and close up some of the gap, but Hydrant Dude is also 14 lines out in front right now. 617, 662. Pixel still has the real-time lead and a very significant pace lead. Does have the stack finally cleaned up, gets a score there to go to 690, 646 for Hydrant Dude, 10 lines ahead. Hydrant just trying to get this well opened up. Bar, of course, comes when it's not. But now a couple scores. 716 for Hydrant Dude, 748 for Andy, who's back now by 18 lines. Line deficit just increasing with all that high up burning from Hydrant earlier. Now at 749 into 25. Andy is at 780, still in 23. Adds a Tetris to go to level 24 at 812. Hydrant Dude actually set up for a row 2, column 3 Tetris, but the bar doesn't come in time. And this is starting to become a lot more difficult of a situation. All right, that bar is going to make a big difference in cleaning this stack up. Hydrant Dude gets things clean at 770, but Andy's at 875 and back by 15 lines. Massive pace advantage as Hydrant takes a Tetris to go to level 27 at 804. Andy, though, not clean at the moment. Just a couple skims to take care of. But even this little bit of a slowdown in pace will allow Hydrant to try and take back a couple of the scores that they're behind. Just getting S and Z bursted, though, into 28. 848 for Hydrant, 920 for Andy, who's back by 15 lines as Hydrant takes another Tetris. One more Tetris would take Hydrant to the kill screen, currently at 884. Tetris to go in at 921, and already problems on the kill screen for Hydrant Dude. A lot of scoring still needed. Andy's at 963. Hydrant Dude's at 929. Just getting pieces where they need to go here. Now up to level 30 at 935. Just trying to go in as deep as possible. Andy, one line away from going to the kill screen. In at 808. Hydrant Dude still at 952. $964, A58. Dirty triple for Hydrant Dude. Still lots of ground to make up because Andy is not really slowing down. Had to cover up a Tetris. Well, it's now a triple in column 3. Now it's a Tetris well, and he's going to get it to go to BO6. Oh, Hydrant too early in the rotation for the T-spin, and the stack is falling apart rapidly. 996 is going to be it for Hydrant Dude, and Andy's going to take a 2-0 lead. Off huge back-to-back games. GG. And just casually still going. Andy, pretty clearly feeling it today. Pretty clearly feeling it. Pretty good. You know, just another D in the screen, that's all. What is happening? I know, right? Well, that's another E on the screen now. E. you know, just normal Tetris things. Just normal Tetris things. Just gonna... Not making Vandy whimpering noises. Yeah, no, it's just casual. Yeah. Just gonna appreciate this, because back-to-back Fs? Excuse me?! What?! That beat Doug's PB again. Back-to-back beat Doug's PB. What? So game number 3. I don't know, Kingsman here for this one, so I'll type it in myself. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Okay. I'm gonna take a moment, just breathe. Yes, Armstrong, that was in fact legit. Back-to-back 1.5 millions, including the first game also being combined comp world record. Sandy doping? Maybe. A world record for highest B2B? I mean, anyone else has back-to-back 1.5s? That is a glove, Civil. And he wears a glove for rolling. Early days here in game number 3, and Andy Stack not quite as pretty this time around, but, I mean, it's still obviously early, and considering everything else we've seen so far, yeah. Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. I had to do it up a little bit high. I'm gonna take a couple skims here. 142, Andy on 165, but 4 lines ahead. Hydrant dude finally gonna get that Tetris, and we are neck and neck here in game number 3. Like, what do you do in this situation? You're Hydrant dude, and you're facing somebody who is literally just back-to-back 1.5'd on you. Well, you play your heart out, and you, keep fighting for every line and every point and force them to work. Yeah, you just win. That's it. Just win. 239, 218. Right now, Hydrant is in the lead. Couple lines ahead. But pace-wise, not holding on to a slight lead here. So we get to the 60-line mark in game number 3. We are well past the halfway mark here. Hydrant's got a bit set up and is going to get it. 356 for each player. It's separated by a half single, actually, here. It's 77 lines. So we just continue to be incredibly neck and neck once again. Neither player giving an inch in game 3. And he took 77 lines. That's as many as 11 sevens, and that's terrible. What else is terrible is the stack's gotten a little bit awkward, but gonna set up a pair of tucks back to back, and Andy's gonna get it cleaned up nicely and add a Tetris to go to 407. 428 for Hydrant Dude. So about a 1 Tetris lead here as we approach the 100 line marker. As the copy pastas come out. 473, 432. Hydrant Dude with a little bit of a lead, trying to add on to it. And, oh, Andy, I look over and bit of a situation there in the stack, but a column 7 fits and a Tetris shortly afterwards are a fancy way to fix that up quickly. .486, 542. Hydrant Dude now holding on to a little bit more of a lead, but that's a very unhelpful square piece, and a couple skims going to be required. Hydrant's going to take care of him quickly. 546. Andy's going to take a dirty Tetris up in row 3, go to 507. Down by about a Tetris and a half here with transition to 19 speeds looming. Not that 19 speeds mean anything to these two. It just means more points for them to grab, because goodness gracious. Oh! Hydrant was a late attempt at an adjustment on the S piece, and it just really didn't do, I think, anything that Hydrant wanted it to do. A couple of skims will get it squared away, but now just 2 lines away from the transition at 593. 533 for Andy, who is also 2 lines away from transition. And going to burn in at 536. Tetris in at 618 for Hydrant Dude. An advantage going into level 19 speeds here for Hydrant. And take a couple skims on a Tetris, go to level 20 at 669. Andy is at 587 going into level 20. So this lead has built a little bit more for Hydrant Dude as we get going here. Game number 3. Hydrant Dude's back against the wall, trying to fight back into the setup against the player who has back-to-back 1.5 now. And honestly, it's got to be immense pressure on both sides. Hydrant Dude trying to avoid a sweep. Andy looking to continue this absolutely impossible momentum from the first 2 games. Hydrant Dude a 748, 620 for Andy. Both players clean now. Hydrant Dude into level 21, or 22, I'm sorry, at 777. 674 for Andy, so that lead around 100,000 points, and the line difference negligible at this point. Hydrant staying clean, staying efficient, up to 836 now in level 23. Andy's board is in a bit of a state right now, trying to find anything for the center has just an absolute chasm down the bottom, and this is going to be some lengthy burns for Andy to try and take. Able to get some pieces over to the sides, but bar dependent in columns 4 and 10. Gets one for the 4, takes a Tetris and 10 to go to 840, but Hydrant Dude now up to 740 to 867. Excuse me. Hydrant Dude holding on to a lead of 160,000 points now. $932 for Hydrant Dude. Another score, 963 here in 25. Early shift of a piece from Andy. He's at 777 in 24. Goes into 25 at 778. And is set up for a row 5 Tetris, or row 4 Tetris, but the bar doesn't come in time. Andy with work to do. Row 4 Tetris is going to score. Hydrant just squeezing a bar over. It's going to have the max here in 26 at A28. Both players on 26. It's almost a 200,000 point lead for Hydrant Dude. But this board is really getting in trouble. Well open for the Tetris for Hydrant Dude to provide some relief and give some room to get things over the left-hand side, because that bar hang there could have been absolutely deadly without another one for the score. 856 for Andy. A74 for Hydrant Dude. But Hydrant knows that no lead is safe right now. Into level 28 at B08. And he's at 923 in level 27. Adds a score, has everything clean. He's at 958. Into kill screen at B25 for Hydrant Dude. Gonna keep trying to score, stack out as many points as possible, and keep Andy away. Andy is at 965 with just a couple lines left until the transition. Again, 969 and work to do, and nothing is gonna work. 970. The ridiculous streak is gonna end there, and Hydrant will get on the board, make it 2-1. GG. That said, we got a hover 3 from Andy. We had a ready from Hydrant somewhere back there. We got a game 4 to play. Hydrant Dude trying to maintain this momentum. Andy trying to finish it off and pick up 6 points and a lead in the division. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Oh, that is brutal, King. That is pain. That is brutal. What's not brutal is starting with multiple Tetrises, as Hydrant has done. We're off and running in game number 4. Hydrant Dude looking to try and capitalize on finally finding some momentum here to possibly begin some reverse sweep hype. Andy looking to finish the job. Right now, Hydrant's just going to want to survive this early dig up high. Need a couple of helpful pieces. That bar will be hugely helpful. And that one will bring the score. 96k for Hydrant, 114 for Andy. Early lead, but early days. Yes, drink water, people. In fact, I'm gonna drink a little water right now. $165, 164 for Hydrant, 162 for Andy. Neck and neck game 4. Gallagher, no, this is the second match of the day. The first one was between Hydrant and Somalian. It ended 3-2 in favor of Somalian. What are water people? What are they? The Zora from Legend of Zelda? Zorua? Oh, no, Zora. Zorua is a Pokemon. And he kind of sacrificing a little bit of the stack, trying to play super efficiently. Now kind of has a bit of a thing going on over there in the left, but gonna take some good skims and take care of that really quick. Hydrant Dude on 303, and he had 241, so Hydrant Dude has managed to open about a 2 Tetris lead here, approaching the halfway mark in game number 4. Ooh, Andy's stack getting higher. Just trying to find a way out of this situation. Don't know if he meant to early shift that piece, but this is starting to turn into a very precarious little dig for Andy, playing way up on the top shelf. Way up on the top shelf. And Hydrant's got a bit of a misplaced J piece as well, but Andy is still just trying to survive this. Finally getting some good pieces to burn this down and get this stack back to any sort of safety. But it has allowed Hydrant Dude to build up a significant lead now, 424 to 272. And Andy about 8 lines ahead at the moment. An absolute heck of a dig from Andy, but the pace paid the price. As Hydrant Dude ahead 476, 343, and Hydrant Dude also a few lines back. Now the Tetris there for Hydrant Dude to bring the line counts even and show that we have about a 180,000 point difference here. About 21 lines away from transition. Hydrant squeezing pieces over that stack to get a couple of Tetrises to go to 567 at 117 lines. 391 for Andy at 120 lines. Does CTL allow level 19 starts? Well, if you're so bored, Pumpy, why don't you play these two? 614 for Hydrant Dude. 1 Tetris left till transition. 437 for Andy, 1 Tetris away from transition. And board not in the greatest shape. Gonna get the score to go in at 461, but heaps of work to do for Andy. Stack mostly clean. That burn after the square will help quite a bit. Andy now clean. 662 for Hydrant, 491 for Andy, now into level 20. Hydrant, not even there yet, is at 686. Trying to make a statement and push us to a decider. Kind of a high build, a little bit aggro for Hydrant, but really just trying to put this game out of reach as soon as possible. Andy's at 526 in level 21. Hydrant Dude is at 720. Make it 746. Going into level 21. Trying to work on that 200,000 point advantage. Now having to take a couple of skims, but it doesn't take long to get that well back open. Just need the bar now. Wow, Poyo. Nice. There's another Tetris for Hydrant Dude, 784. 617 for Andy, who's ahead by just a couple of lines. So a very true lead. Hydrant, though, waiting on bars. Finally, one's going to come in there to go to 823. And another one to go to 850. Take 2. They're small, the game says. And Andy having to take another couple of burns here. Finally gets another score. Got to deal with a hole in column 4. And a very unhelpful S-piece as well, leading to a few extra burns on Andy's side. Hydrant having to set up another hole in the center of the stack as well. Yes, both players get their stacks cleaned up. 890, 747. Add another Tetris for Hydrant. Here, have another one. 953 into level 26. 747 for Andy. Taking Tetris to go to 779. 180,000 point lead still intact for Hydrant. Less than 30 lines away from the kill screen. Why are these players American? That's a good question. Maybe we can ask them after the match. Right now, they're a little bit busy. A21 for Hydrant and a 27. Adds another Tetris. Go to A55. Andy is on 854. 200,000 point advantage. And Andy's stacking a bit of a rough spot. There's a good Tetris, lower things down. Hydrant's got a couple of holes to work with. Is at A90 here now into level 28. Andy's at 902. Neither player clean at the moment. Hydrant with a dirty row 4 Tetris to go to B26. Has to take a skim, which gives up one of those Tetrises. Hydrant gonna burn in at B33. Andy's at 913 with a lot of work to do to try and chase us down and take the set. Especially as Hydrant is still going, still playing. Oh, just squeezing pieces over to the side is Hydrant, but able to keep it alive, keep scoring, try and stave off Andy's charge. We've seen Andy do some absolutely ridiculous things in post already, and he's gonna have to do a lot more to take this one. B90 after that Tetris for Hydrant dude, but still trying to push for more points. 943 now for Andy. Another center well Tetris for Hydrant dude to go to C30. Not looking to go down so easy just yet. Want to push us to a game 5. Andy's still going at 959 now. Has to try and get set up for Tetrises. Doesn't have to, but every extra point at this point is going to make a huge difference. That right side is blocked off. Andy just getting pieces all the way to the side. Has the Tetris well back open. C51 for Hydrant. Finally a Tetris. Andy's in the max outs at A16, but is still down by 240,000 points. A center well Tetris for Hydrant, who now has to try and clean things up into this. C96 and pushing for more. That's a D on the screen for Hydrant at DO2. Absolutely trying to make a statement back here. Andy trying everything. Does get that bar all the way to the left. A37. But still so much work left to do. Hydrant still going at D16 now. Double there for Hydrant. Bar gets all the way to the left, up to D25. A56 for Andy. The lead still enormous. In fact, I think it's grown a little bit. But neither player can afford to give up an inch right now. Oh, that bar! And Andy can't get another one over. He's going to be done at A79. And Hydrant at D42 is going to push us to a decider. Hi. This match could take us until sometime like Tuesday morning, which is fine because that's when my new washing machine is going to arrive. Anyway. We got a hover 3 from Andy. We got a ready from Hydrant. We got a decider. And we're not even halfway through the night. This game will get us there. His next game will end in a tie, right? 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Gallagher, yes, Andy started the set off with back-to-back 1.5s. Hydrant has brought it back. Trying to keep that reverse sweep hype going. Andy looking to finish what he started. Don't you speak that evil in here, Dan. Don't you bring that evil. Although a double club 0 would probably have been the funniest thing capable of happening. As long as the new Tetris isn't Tetris 2, that game is garbage and terrible. And anyone who likes it should probably reevaluate some life choices. However, the new Tetris on N64 is comical and I like it. $117 for Andy, $138 for Hydrant Dude. Early days in the decider. Hydrant Dude with a bar dependency in column 3 and not really any help for it. Gonna have to take a handful of burns here. and then do a fancy J-spin and get Tetris ready and shut me up. As you do. Shut thee up, indeed. Also, thank you, Frenchie. Score for Andy to go to 214. Hydrant's on 194. We're on the same line count, so now it's about a 1 Tetris lead for Andy as we get going in the decider. Both players clean, ready to score. Hydrant's going to get one to go to 240. Andy's on 220, gets Tetris, goes to 242. Can we say neck and neck again yet? $265, $289 with a 4-line difference. Yeah, I think neck and neck is pretty valid here. Shionobi, I apologize that we don't have a music command right now. I'm listening to the song Passion by Vedra. I'm using Pretzel Rocks. It's DMCA free music meant for streamers. Andy's neck isn't visible, or head. I can see a little bit of neck. Don't forget to drink water, everybody. Glove and glove, maybe. Hydrant having to create a hole in the stack, but it's not really a very dangerous one. Just, oh, that's not where that J was supposed to go, and the well covered right when the bar comes, and Hydrant with a bit of a situation here. Ooh, it's turning into more than a bit. Bar needs to come now. Bar does not come. Hydrant is done at 361. Andy at 430. Ends the hopes and dreams of the reverse sweep. And survives game number 5. An absolutely brutal way to end probably one of the most amazing sets I know I've ever seen. Of course, Andy Mullins these. And while Andy Mullins these, I'm going to get this one reported. And we're going to talk a little bit about Matcherino. Yep, I'm going to put the right things up on my screen. Thank you, Zeno. Appreciate that. Matcherino is the prize fund for Classic Tetris League. You can see in the bottom center of the screen that total of $517 is just just the current total of what our players are competing for, along with all the pride of being a Division 1 CTL winner. As Zeno just screams. You know, that'll happen. You can help out in all sorts of neat different ways. By heading to the link that I'm going to plop in chat right now. That one right there. You can do sponsor quests involving simply just following Matcherino on Twitch, Twitter, and otherwise. And claim some of the free coupons, and you can put money into that prize pool without having to put any of your own money in. And support these players as they put on shows like this for you throughout this season. And it all adds up. It all makes a difference. So check out that link. See what you can do. Let's see how high we can get the number after B2B 1.5s and B2B amazing sets. We'll be back in a few with our next match.